Hello students, this is Dr. Praveen Tripathi, Faculty Psychiatry, Cerebellum Academy. In this short video, I'll talk about some very actionable points which will help you to study more. And these are the things that you can start doing from today itself. Our aim is that we should be able to study as much as possible and retain as much information as possible. The exam is coming, we don't have too much time left, and we want to increase our productivity. One simple principle, my dear students, that you should always remember is you cannot improve what you do not measure. You cannot improve what you do not measure. This basic principle gives us certain actionable points. In some of my videos, I have talked about deep study sessions. There's a very famous book, Deep Work by Cal Newport. It's a great book. If you ever get time, you should read it. But basically in that book, there's this concept of deep work. And from there, I have derived this deep study session. What is deep work? Basically, when you are doing deep work, you try to hit the maximal level of your concentration. You try to, stretch your brain's capability to its maximum, and you try to take your concentration to the maximum. How is it achieved? By removing all the distractions. Say there's a 1 hour session in which you are completely focused on what you're doing, completely focused on what you're studying. You are not allowing any random thoughts to enter. You are not thinking about anything else. Your phone is away. Your room is locked. You're not talking to anybody. There is no distraction whatsoever, and you are studying. When you remove all the distractions, when you remove the internal distractions, the thoughts that are coming, and when you continue studying after say 10, 15, 20 minutes, you see that you are hitting the maximum level of your concentration. That is what is a deep session, deep study session. What is the benefit of this deep study session? When we do shallow work, when we are distracted, checking phone, checking internet, checking your Instagram, talking to somebody, making a joke, and then studying, and then 10 minutes later doing something different, you don't even utilize say even 40% of your brain capabilities. So whatever output that you get in say 3 hours of shallow sessions, you get 1 hour of study session, deep study session, you get the same output. So basically, qualitatively, deep study session is different from the usual shallow sessions in which we do the studies. So we have to be very aware of the fact whether we are going into a deep study session or not. And we also have to measure how many of these sessions are we able to accomplish in a day. So what I want from you is, say you studied for 1 hour or say you studied for 2 hours. I want you to yourself rate out of 1. How many marks do you want to give yourself as far as the deep study session is concerned? If you feel that you could hit the maximum concentration that you have ever reached in your life, give yourself a score of 1 out of 1. And if you think that it was like 75% of my best, you rate yourself as 0.75. If you feel you were talking to people, not doing anything properly, just superficially reading, give yourself 0.25, right? So this is how you rate yourself. And how many study hours were there in a day? So we get a daily study score. Say you studied for 8 hours, but your overall concentration was like 0.75, 75% of your best. You give yourself 8 into 0.75. It comes out to be how much? I believe 6. This is your daily study score. On a piece of paper or on your whiteboard or even in your phone, but not in the phone, preferably on a sheet of paper or a pasted sheet of paper on the wall, or if you have a whiteboard on that. Every day, start writing this daily study score. This is a much better method of improving your productivity than making timetables. You make a timetable from morning, this to this, I'll do this, I'll do this, you never follow it. But this is something that you are writing after the completion. How it works is, on that whiteboard, 1st of Feb, the score is 6. 2nd of Feb, the score is 6.5. 3rd of Feb, the score is 7. On the 4th of Feb, when you do not study and when you put a score of 1 on that whiteboard, on the 5th of Feb, you have a very strong urge to bring it back to a better number. So this is what you have to do. Start measuring it. Let's go back to the basic principle. You cannot improve what you do not measure. And this time you do not measure only quantitatively. Most of us, what do? We just look at the number of hours that we have been studying. We don't even give importance to this. This is perhaps more important. You study for 10 hours, shallow sessions, poor output. You study for 4 hours, deep sessions, picking the highest level of concentration, much better output. Start doing this, my dear students. For those of you who are students of Cerebellum, who are following the live lectures, right? Again, live lecture is also a part of studies. If you have been able to study for 5 hours and if you are completely focused, you are not fiddling with things, you are not fiddling with the phone, you are not wasting your time. If you are completely absorbed into the lecture, give yourself a score of 1 on this qualitative measure. So this is something that you have to do. Make a list, make a table. It will say date. It will say number of sessions. And it will say quality. It should be something like this, say Feb 18th. Number of sessions 10. Quality 0.5. Score 0.5 into 10, 5. And add to that another one thing, bed to book time. Bed to book time. This is something that I really like, this concept. Bed to book time, I have talked about it in the past also. Basically, the whole idea is if you can start your day on a good note, it kind of ensures that your remaining day also becomes better. Say you wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, and in next 45 minutes, you have started studying. Your bed to book time is 45 minutes. So you woke up at 8:30 in the morning. For the first 2 hours, you wasted time, watched videos, scrolled on Instagram. Your bed to book time is 2 hours. You will see that on days when you waste 2 hours in the morning, and after that when you open your book or open your video, you are not in that great frame of mind. You are already a bit frustrated with yourself or feeling guilty. But when you start studying quickly, you start the day on a good note, and then you have the desire to study more and more. So if we have to keep our bed to book time around 45 minutes, it has to be less than 1 hour. Do not cross 1 hour. If you can start studying within the first hour of your day, it kind of ensures that your entire day goes well. So the last is your bed to book time. So just let me write it more clearly so that this table is making more sense to you. Number of sessions, deepness score, study score, which is a multiplication of these two, and bed to book time. And then date. Let's start measuring it, and you can send it to me also. You can send it to me on Instagram or Telegram, right? Let's start measuring it. Let's plaster it on the wall. Let's put it on our whiteboard. Let's start seeing how we are doing, and let's reinforce our studies. This is the best way of reinforcement, you believe me. So I hope you can use these simple principles to improve your output. All the best. Keep studying hard. May God bless you all.